Hey gang, Mark LeBlanc here, welcoming you back to the Alley Cat Workshop. I have a fun one for you today. I'm going to be building a stand for golf bags, all built in birch plywood. So I started by cutting the sides to size and then drawing a diagonal on each panel in order to make the stand a bit lighter and easier to work with. The measurements for the diagonal are 6 inches from the top corner and 4 inches from the bottom corner.
So the plan I designed, this is what it called for. It called for a straight cut, 6 inches from this edge, 4 inches from the bottom, link those two lines and cut away. And I thought that that was going to be a little bit boring. So what I tried to do is I took a fairly thin piece of plywood that would bend. I clamped it over here on this corner, that's the 6-inch mark, and then manually just bent it into a shape. What I did is I also put at 19 3/4 inches a relief of 1 inch, and I just made a small curve from there. So what I'm going to do, because I know I can't reproduce that exact line on the other piece, is what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this curve, which would be a little bit nicer, I would think, on this piece, and then I'll use the cutout as a template for the next piece, and hopefully they're pretty close to each other.
Off to the bandsaw, I cut the curve on the first panel, and then, as mentioned earlier, I used the cutout to transfer the shape of the curve cut to the next panel. I returned my attention on the first panel once more, and using my oscillating spindle sander, made sure that the shape of the curve was exactly what I wanted. I then clamped both panels together, and using a flush trim router bit, transferred the shape of the curve onto the second panel. And since the router was out, I switched to a round over bit and softened the outside edge of both side panels. Next step was to focus on the top and bottom pieces. Here I'm cutting the top shelf. And while the back is a simple straight cut, the front is cut at a 20-degree angle. Before making that cut, I confirmed the actual angle using the protractor. The bottom shelf is cut at an angle both on the front and on the back. So before making any cut, I drew lines where the bottom shelf would eventually sit, and then used a protractor to determine the correct angle. In my case, the angle is 9 degrees. I then confirmed that my angle was correct before making a cut at the back. The toe kick is also cut with the same angle. I decided to use pocket screws for the assembly. Here I'm making my pocket holes on the top shelf and then on the bottom shelf. To properly sit the golf bags, I made 2 oval cuts in the top shelf, both at that same 22-degree angle. To make things real easy to figure out the angle, I tilted the top of the bandsaw and confirmed the angle with the front face of the top shelf. Now it's time for some assembly. By simply using clamps, I was able to hold the pieces together while driving my pocket screws, starting with the top, then the toe cap. And then the bottom.
All right, here's the completed product in our garage. I really like this. Our golf bags used to be just standing there in the garage, and quite often they would fall over. Now they're secure, they're in one place. We've got our golf shoes at the bottom, so this is really good. Overall, this is a really simple project. It's got a couple of interesting challenges, and it's something you could easily do in a day. The challenges are the following. On the top piece, you need to cut the front at a very specific angle. The bottom shelf and the toe also need to be cut at a very separate, at a different angle. Now, if you know how to use one of these, a simple protractor, you'll be able to identify the exact angle that you need for either the top or the bottom and cut your pieces accordingly. But the fact that you're not cutting anything necessarily square introduces a challenge that's pretty interesting. Now, if you want to build one of these, I'll be glad to give you a hand. I put together a simple set of plans. Whoops, there we go. That were actually quite useful. And I've got a SketchUp file, and I'll figure out a way to get that out. So if you want to get either the file or the plans or the SketchUp file, my email is below. Just send me an email. I'll be glad to send it out to you. Couple of things that you could do differently, so let me walk you through what that looks like. The first thing you could do differently is to make the caddy or the stand a little bit taller. Mine is 30 inches high, which I felt was fine, but you could certainly increase the size. And if you know SketchUp, then you'll be able to make that adjustment pretty quickly. So that's one adjustment you could make. The next thing you could do is change the shape of this curve. So the way I did mine is I started from the edge and then went 2 inches and I made a mark here. I found my center point and then I made a 2-inch mark from the center point going in. And I made a 2-inch mark on the top of the circle. And then using just a piece of plywood, I just drew out the edge and then squared that and then cut that off. You could, on the middle point here, you could actually move it out 3 inches, maybe 4 inches, whatever. The top piece is 6 inches wide at the beginning, so you could go a little bit deeper. Now, my original plan called for putting a back, but in the end, this is solid enough as is. I didn't bother with it. One final thing that you could do is actually put a finish on this, either a coat of paint or some stain. I didn't bother. It's a garage project. I know it's going to take some abuse, but it's plywood. It's meant to take that abuse. And frankly, this thing is pretty darn solid. Very happy with it. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon.